Good evening and welcome back. Our prepared speaking portion this evening, we have two excellent speakers. Our first speaker is doing Project 9, Persuade with Power, out of the Competent Communicator Manual. And Gary, would you read Rahul's objectives, please?
Certainly. The objectives are to persuade listeners to adopt your viewpoint or ideas, or to take some action. Appeal to the audience's interests. Use logic and emotion to support your position, and avoid using notes.
All right. Well, our speaker's been in Toastmasters 4 years. He's achieved the status of ACG and ALB, which is Advanced Communicator Gold and Advanced Leader Bronze. One of his favorite hobbies, what else? Toastmasters. And do you believe it is difficult to be a competent leader? Some of you really don't know what a competent leader is. Our next speaker believes there is no difficulty whatsoever, that at least in Toastmasters, he believes that if we do it efficiently, we can become a competent leader 3 times a year in just one club. Interesting. At the minimum, 2 titles of competent leader are yours to have every Toastmaster year. Please help me welcome Rahul Vats, an efficient, competent leader.
Just a second.
Okay, stop it.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Madam Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters. And unfortunately, there are no guests here tonight. Whenever I plan for something, my plans backfire. I was hoping there would be guests tonight, and I'd encourage them, inspire them, motivate them. But this club is full of people who are already distinguished Toastmasters. So a perfect audience for me to encourage them to become a competent leader. Yay for me. But in any case, I'm here to help you become a competent leader. How many of you believe it is difficult to be a competent leader? Well, there are 2 people whom I'm going to talk to here tonight. Rest of you can enjoy a good nap. I'm sorry, I cannot help because you're already a competent leader. But for those 2 who are interested in what I have to say, I provided you with a sheet of paper which lists down various different roles that you have to do and accomplish in order to become a competent leader in Toastmasters. Now, I've seen many people who have been in a club for a year, 2 years, and they still have not been able to fulfill and complete one competent leader. I've been in Toastmasters for 4 years, but out of those 4 years, 1 year I was unfortunately away in India because of some tragedy in my family. So I've been technically in Toastmasters for about 3 years. And in 3 years, I've earned 7 competent leaders, and mostly with just one club. Like 1 club at a time, is what I'm trying to say. Here is how I did it. Now if we look at this sheet of paper that's, I believe, with everybody, there are 10 different projects that you have to do and complete in order to become a competent leader. These 10 projects are for 10 different critical skills that are required in every leader, in all sorts of situations, not just in Toastmasters. How many of you will agree, or how many of us will agree, that it is very important for a leader to be a good listener?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Very.
How many of us will agree that it is very important for a leader to be a critical thinker, to be able to manage time, to be able to mentor other people? I would say so. that all these qualities are very critical. Now let's see and break them down and see what it takes for us to complete one project and how quickly can we do it. If we look and read in the goals section, there are a total number of requirements for us to do in order to complete that particular project. Now if we count the minimum that we have to do, there are 3 projects that you need to do in order to complete your listening and leadership criteria. There are 2 projects that you need to do in order to complete your critical thinking criteria. There are 3 projects, all of them are required when you're giving feedback. Then in order to manage time, you have to complete a timer's role plus 1 other role, so a total of 2. If you add them all together, it comes down to 21 roles that you have to complete in order to be a competent leader. Now, I've divided these 10 roles, these 10 projects, in 3 different categories. One of them is speaker category. Now, if you would see, there are various places in the assignment where you would see the word speaker. In the first project, you are a table topic speaker. In the 4th project, you are a speaker along with timer. And then you have one more speaker project, I believe, somewhere down
5.
in 5. Yes, the very first one, which is the planning and implementation. Now think about it. Whenever you come or whenever you are a table topic speaker, you have to listen to what the table topic master is telling in order to answer that question efficiently. So you do have to have listening abilities in order to perform that role. Would you agree? How difficult it is to complete one table topic speaker role in 21 meetings in a Toastmaster club, if that clubs meet every week. I won't say it's difficult at all. Now, when you talk about the speaker category and you take that speaker category and fulfill it, every time the time management project, use the speaker every time that you have spoken. Get somebody to evaluate you for that particular project in the competent leader manual as well. And go put it together along with timer. So in 2 meetings, you have completed that project. Timer plus speaker. And I would say any additional role, forget about anything else in that particular. Always use speaker. Because you would be giving at least 2 speeches in 4 months if you're in a good club. Would you agree? And if you're giving 2 speeches, use those 2 speeches to get yourself credit for a competent leader as well. Now, in the 5th project, you have to do planning and implementation. Would you agree that every time you're speaking, you're having some sort of planning and you're executing by giving that speech in the club? Right? So when you are speaking, use that particular goal, use that particular skills that you put in to create and give and deliver that speech to get yourself a credit in order to complete one of the projects. Now, others are meeting roles. That's the second category that I've created. And meeting roles are evaluators, table topics master, Toastmaster, evaluator, and general evaluator. Now, make sure every time you're not speaking, you start off with the first project and do those roles in order. And if your club allows you to do double duty, like Liz is doing here tonight, you've given a table topic speech and you have done your R counter and grammarian role, right? And your first project is finished. In probably 2 meetings. Or Liz actually gave a table topics today and is an R counter and grammarian. So in just 1 meeting, she is able to complete the very first project in just 1 night, in 1 meeting. Now, think about this and remember, there are various different roles and I'd like you to take out a pen and mark some of the roles in particular project that I'm going to recommend you to use for your credit. You all have a pen? here is what my recommendation is. In the first project, always use your table topic speaker credit to get you the credit for a competent leader. Along with, use the R counter in grammarian because R counter doesn't appear anywhere else in the whole list. And grammarian is an easy role. If you persevere with what I'm going to recommend, there is no way that you cannot be a competent leader in 21 meetings or less. Now the third category that is there is that I believe and I've created is events and membership drives and campaigns. Now you need to help with either a club speech contest, write a newsletter, help in a membership campaign, speech craft, or whatsoever in order to get credit for those particular projects. And every club would have at least 2 speech contests every 6 months. So if you help out in that particular contest, you can get your credit. If you write a newsletter about what you did, just like Marianne did a few weeks ago, and I wanted to have that newsletter with me here today, but unfortunately I don't. It gives you the credit for assisting in or helping in producing a club newsletter. That's there, right there with Gary. Now, I'm running over time, so I'd like to recommend using the pen and recommend the project that you should do. In the first project, to table topic speaker, R counter and grammarian, you might be able to cover it up in just one meeting. In critical thinking, I would always say use grammarian and a speech evaluator. Giving feedback, you have to do everything, so there is no recommendation. In time management, I've already given my recommendation, but it is timer and speaker. Planning and implementation, you required any 3 or 4. Try to use speaker, Toastmaster, and table topics master, because you have generally evaluated a lot of other places too. Organizing and delegating. Now here is an interesting thing. If you help produce a club newsletter, you're not required to use it in a meeting. You can do it outside a meeting. You can do it on your own time. Just like that newsletter, write it, send it to everybody, some of your friends, and bring it to club. You get credit. Now, in developing your facilitation skills, I would say again use table topics master, do it twice, and befriend a guest at the meeting. Nobody ever does that, but you should really, really do it, because that level of facilitation skills when you're befriending a guest is something which will go a long way even in your career. Being able to be friendly to a complete stranger. Motivating people. Now, in that particular project, you're required to do either one of the first 2. So that means you need to help either in a contest or in a membership campaign. And a membership campaign could be an open house. And each club, I believe, along with the contest, has 2 open house each year. There you get your credit. Choose whatever you want besides that with Toastmasters, Speech Evaluator, or General Evaluator. Do mentoring. A lot of people here, and especially the ones who are DTM, would tell you about what is in high performance leadership. Try to get on board with them and help them in their guidance committee. Or mentor an existing member if you cannot mentor a new member. Just ask them, if I could help you out with your speech, get your credit. 1, doesn't have to be in the meeting. So even if it has to take 1 meeting each, there are 21 roles, and you can do it in 21 meetings, which is 4 months. So 4 months, every year has 12 months, 3 competent leader title are yours to have. Even if not 3, a minimum of 2. Please do work on those and submit it for your club, because your club needs it in order to become distinguished. Now, I hope I've persuaded you with a little bit of power and respect in order to focus on your competent leadership skills.